Good morning. This is Roger Thunder with the Red Road in the Red Road Starbase studio. This is going to be a big reveal today, so buckle up, boys and girls. So previously I have talked about the Star Nation and the Star Brothers or Sisters, and there's both. And I have said that what we're seeing now, as far as objects in the sky, certain objects in the sky, is a big reveal by the Star Nation. Now, how do I know this? Well, all you have to do is go out off your back porch and look up in the sky. Now, I have taken several photographs. I said before that I was in the desert of Nevada. So, to the north of me, you have Area 51. To the northeast, the northeast, you have Nellis Air Force Base. And to the west, you have Edwards Air Force Base. I don't know if that's the name now, Edwards. It may have taken on a new name. But basically, I'm surrounded in a starlit sky, clear sky at night. And there are several things going on around me. Now, all I have to do is, here's the big reveal. I am a Pleiadian starseed. We all have certain roots with the stars in the Star Nation. Now let me just expound. I'm going to show you some photos, but let me expound a little bit. Hold on here. Let me expound a little bit on the Star Nation so you can get a grasp as to what I'm talking about. Now there's two books that were written by a man named Gary A. David, who is a resident of the Southwest, and for all practical purposes, he probably too has some type of connection. But if you want to get a large volume of information and documentation as to the Star Nation and how they have been in existence for millennia, but let me apply that to the particular group of people that I am connected to as far as indigenous people on a spiritual level. One of the main ones would be the Hopi. Now, this is the book. This is one of the books. You could see how thick it is. This is a very thick book. Okay, this is a book called Journey of the Serpent People, Hopi Migration and Star Correlations by Gary A. David. This is one book. All right. Let me grab another book here. Here is another book, fairly thick. The Kivas of Heaven, Ancient Hopi Star Lore, Gary A. David. Now, when you look through these books, okay, you've got all kinds of illustrations, correlations, maps, the whole ball of wax, the imprint of the stars upon the earth, the reflection of the different star systems. You have all kinds of information here. It would take you a month to go through these particular books and digest all that information. But there it is in black and white, spelled out in very intricate explanations as to how the Star Nation, the Star Brothers, the Star People, whatever you want to call them. I don't like the term alien because that's not what they are. They're not aliens. They're Star People. Now, my connection with the Star People, I've been on this channel a long time talking about raising your frequency and your consciousness. Do you think that that was just for fun and games? We got big reveals coming out this week from several UFO, let's say, people that are connected with the UFO community on all kinds of levels. So you got three things. Ross Coulthart is coming out from News Nation, and he is interviewing an Air Force. I can't remember what his rank was, but he's already done a little preview about it. High up clearance, Air Force helicopter pilot that has actually gone down and retrieved certain vehicles that have landed or crash landed on Earth, just like in the Roswell incident back in whatever it was, 1947 or 6 or somewhere around there. Then, on the other hand, you have a guy named Stephen Greer. Now, I don't know if these two are in collaboration, but he's also saying that this week, before the end of January or before Trump's inauguration, he's got a group of people that have been working on black projects or secret projects that have to do with advanced technology and anti-gravitational aircraft. So you got two guys that I know of, and that's Coulthart with News Nation and Stephen Greer, who has been in this for a long, long time, and he has been pushing for disclosure as to what's going on here. Now, Ross Coulthart is timing his, I think it's Saturday at 8 p.m. on News Nation. I think it's 8 p.m. You might want to check on that, but he's going to do it like right before the inauguration. Why? Because Trump has come out and said that he is on day one, okay, on day one of his inauguration, he is going to reveal what is going on with the drone activity on the East Coast, West Coast, states across America, air bases across America, air bases in the UK, and these air bases are, most of them are American air bases. So there is supposedly this week going to be big reveal, so I figured this was a good time for me to come out and reveal the fact that I have been connected through a Pleiadian connection, Pleiades, the star system, and I've known this for years. As an indigenous person, you see, indigenous people and wisdom keepers and shamans and people that can access through their shamanistic and indigenous, let's say, medicine man type behavior, can access alternate realities, alternate dimensional realities. So we live in a world of dimensions. And these dimensions right now have been kind of overwhelmed. I won't say overwhelmed, I'm saying, let's say added to these dimensions are AI and high technological developments. Let's put it that way. Now, what's happening right now is the Star Nation has decided, they have put the governments of the world on notice that they are going to make an appearance, and that's exactly what they are doing right now, because they are sick of the BS and lies and manipulation and the use of them, like I said before, as some type of straw man or scapegoat for other things that are happening. So there's going to be a big reveal. And these things are in the sky, and you get all kinds of silly ass videos where people are holding up their phones and oh, look at that, it's zooming over there and it's zooming over here. Well, yes, some of those are real. Some of those people actually do capture what's going on. But a lot of times they're just moving the phone around, which makes the objects in the phone move around, and it looks like they're traveling at warp speed and this and that and whatever. But you never get, oh, look at them, they're up in the sky. Well, what these people are saying, if they do get a real photo, is advanced technology from the military-industrial complex and the powers to be, the elite or the cabal or whatever you want to call them, on this planet, okay? And this advanced technology is, like I have said before, TR-3Bs, anti-gravitational, triangular aircraft. No, they're not drones. This drone thing is a big deception as well. Now, when the government's got notice about, hey, we're coming down, we're going to make an appearance, get ready, do whatever you got to do, they freaked out. The governments are freaked out right now, especially the American government is freaked out, and that's why they're lying to the people, and that's why they're saying silly ass things and lies like, well, there's nothing to be seen here, move along, these are just drones, and these are just, we're going to establish a no-fly zone, and that's going to take, they're focusing in on the hobbyist drone and making it look like, oh, there's just thousands of hobbyist drones. Well, there probably are, but they're not flying around in airspace, and they're not pulling off some of the maneuvers and let's say some of the characteristics, okay, like going dark, disappearing, that type thing. So what we have going on here, people, is kind of like a three-tiered thing. You have the Star Nation, okay. Now let me show you a couple of photos here that I took off my back porch in a wide desert landscape with no clouds, all right? Let me show you a picture that I took. And this is it. This is the picture. This is not a star, right? This is some type of appearance of some type of either vehicle, anti-gravitational vehicle, and of course it's cloaked here. See if I can zoom in on this. I don't know why. I guess that's it. But what you can see here, okay, and this was taken in a clear sky, what you can see here is, and you will see this yourself, if you go out and look at in the sky and you see something that looks like a star, but yet there's a little kind of like little ball or a little ball of light next to it, that is not a star. And this And it wouldn't matter if it was a star anyway, because I'm talking about the star nation. But as you can see here, there is a field around this. You can call it an orb, or you can call it a plasma, or you can call it whatever you want to call it. But what you can see in here is kind of like a light right here. This is the little light that is next to whatever it is here. Okay, this is the vehicle. This is the light. This is, so you can see kind of almost like a square shape vehicle inside of a protective membrane. Okay, that's what I've been told to call it, a membrane, because they are orbs, but they have membranes. And again, you can see almost kind of like a geometrical type form with several characteristics in here. This is one photo I took. So that was in the eastern skies, up kind of up high. Now there's several of these. I just focused in on this one. There's several of these around the area here. There's some in the southwest. There's some off to the north. Again, I was talking about air bases, remember? There's some off to the northeast, and there's some off to the southeast, almost like forming a grid pattern. So that's one of the photos I got. Let me go to another one here. This is another photo I took. This is the inset right here of this, and you can see the millions of stars in the background here. This is a photo, when you go in on it, that looks like what some people are calling plasma orbs. Okay. Now, this could be mistaken for a star, and some stars give off this appearance. This was taken December 27, 2024 at 5:51 p.m. southwest of Las Vegas, Nevada. This is the only real way to capture things, not standing out there like an idiot with your cell phone and jiggling it all around and ending it within like 20 seconds or 30 seconds, and that's it. And I'm not going to follow it anymore, or I'm not going to zoom in on it, or I'm not going to try to see. But with this, you can actually see. Let me go to the photo I took of this before I before I actually, now all I did to these was add contrast. Okay, I didn't change anything at all. Just like a good photographer will do. You add contrast to it. Now this particular orb, remember I talked about, I talked before about recently, I think it was like 3-4 days ago, or it could have been a week ago, there was a commercial, not a commercial, a private corporate jet flying in off of Florida, and air traffic control said, we got a target in your area. Let me qualify myself as a pilot to fully rated, just so you know, and a flight instructor, and at one time an aviation consultant. Anyway, air traffic control came in to this jet. I think it was a Gulfstream or something, and said, you got a bogey, you got traffic off to your left, and could you identify it for us? And they said sure, and there was in the back of this this corporate jet was a flight attendant, a private flight attendant for the corporate people. And she took her camera out and stuck it out the window and took a picture of this object that was just kind of chilling out, hovering, and then it took off. But this picture that I took here off my back porch resembles that photograph almost exactly. I think I'll go back to this one because I kind of like the imposition of it, or the what's the word I'm looking for? Composition. You could see the stars. You could see, in the background. These are stars. This is this is a lot closer here, people, than the stars. All right. And I feel like I was directed to do this at certain times. Certain times they said go out, and here's a thumbnail that I'm going to use for this video, showing the correlation between the Star Nation, all right, and what's happening now. So here's another big reveal. So the Star Nation are composed of all kinds of, let's say, races. Just like we have races on the earth, just like we have different cultures on the earth. When you go when you're talking about the star system out there beyond the stars, really, you're talking about dimensional stuff and spiritual stuff, and you're talking about a variety of different things happening here. And for the most part, though, the Star Nation is a benevolent, I repeat, benevolent force that wants to see good, or wants to save the planet, wants to make sure we don't blow it up, wants to make sure we don't have nuclear war, and is really kind of tired of the deception and the way how everything has been handled here. Let me go back to the Star Nation. Let me go back to the indigenous people. The indigenous people have always realized that they're caretakers of this planet. It's only the European man that came in here and screwed everything up. And that might be a very good reason as to why they wanted to get rid of the ancestral people of this North American continent called Turtle Island. They knew too much. They had connections with the Star Nation, just as I do. Now let me tell you something that's really going to blow your mind right now. Is the fact that when you get into like shamanistic activities, and all of this information in these books that I held up before, all the information in there comes from and is related to medicine men, shamanism, mystery schools, things of that nature, where people have been able to make contact with and understand what the hell is going on by either lucid dreaming or going into what Castaneda described as alternate realities. Our minds are fantastic things. Our minds are able to go to all kinds of different frequencies and all kinds of different levels and all kinds of different realities. The only limitation is yourself. And yourself is composed of the ego, which has been instilled with belief systems that say, oh, I can't do that, or this isn't right, or that's not according to my ethics or my Christian belief system, or whatever belief system, whatever religion you have. That all gets in the way, It all gets in the way because it doesn't allow you to tap into your true self, your true nature. Now, there's a lot of us on the planet that know more, or let's say know different things than what the Star Nation knows. That's why they consider us valuable, because we're privy to things because of this is very complicated. But once you're born on this earth, doesn't matter how you were seeded or how your DNA was manipulated or whatever, you still have knowledge of the earth plane that they can't quite grasp or get into. They are friendly. So when you go into I took a trip, let's say maybe 3-4 nights ago. I asked them, I went into, before I went into the lucid dream, I went into a meditation, and I asked them to reveal to me, because I had this experience once before, I'd say about 1.5 years ago. And I asked them to give me another ride, basically. I want to see what's going on, all this talking about everything, and I just wanted to jump into their transportation vehicle and take a ride. So they said, okay, well, you're going to go into a lucid dream tonight. And I said, okay, I knew I was going to go into a lucid dream. What's a lucid dream? Well, a lucid dream is like dreaming while you're awake, only it's a way to access, let's say, astral realms or different levels of consciousness, i.e. their consciousness. So that's exactly what I did, and I laid down and went into trance, went into lucid dream, and next thing you know, there I am. And I am in a orb, or what you might want to call an orb, looking out. I guess you could call it a windshield, but it's more like a clear membrane. And instantly I was moving along at about, I'd say 6 or 7, it was told to me, Mach speed. That's pretty fast. And 6 or 7 Mach, maybe 8, and I'm cruising along with them above. I'd say I think I was about 500 feet above the Earth, the planet, and it looked like a desert terrain, and I was moving so fast that the trees and the mountains and the natural terrain was blurry. It was moving so fast that it was going by blurry. But I could still see the flat plane, and I could still see the heavens. And at first I got scared because I'm like, there's a mountain that's coming up, but it went right through the mountain. It went right through matter. Matter's just energy, and they're on another dimensional plane, and they can just go right through it. But as I was skimming along the ground, I was saying to myself, and they read my mind, I was saying to myself, yeah, this is nice. It's all well and good, but I want to get up. I want to get up into the stars. I want to get away from the planet here, and boom! Immediately we went vertical and out into the stars, and just like the billions of stars you saw in my photograph there. And we're traveling warp speed, beyond warps. I mean, we are moving fast, and all of a sudden another vehicle whoosh came by this way. And I said to them, wow, we just missed something there, or what was that? I didn't get a good shot of that. And they go, oh, you didn't? Well, here, try this. Whoosh, it went by again. So I have no idea what that vehicle was. All I know is that they must have had some kind of control over it. It was hard for me to make out some of the stuff. But as soon as I asked them to go into the heavens and the stars and all that stuff, boom, we were there. And then after we were there a while, I was more relaxed, and they went back down next to the planet. And we're kind of having fun weaving in and out of mountains, although they knew they could go right through them. They were taking me for a ride. And the feeling that I got from them was a very nice feeling, and it was like, we just want to show you, what's going on here, because earlier, I'd say a couple days earlier, I was standing out on my porch, and I was talking to them. I was looking up, and I was saying, I'm a fully rated pilot, right? I got all my ratings, commercial, multi-engine, instrument rating, flight instructor. I said, so will you treat me with kindness, or at least have some respect in that regard, as far as I am a sky person, as much as I can be on this plane? Well, they took that into account, and I think they wanted to take me for a joyride, and so I did. So that's my big reveal. Now, it's tough to reveal this kind of thing, because the first thing that people are going to say is, oh boy, that guy's he's a nut job. He's I assure you I'm not. I assure you that I'm very intellectual. I'm very well grounded. I am very I have a grasp on all my faculties, let's put it that way, and then some. But this is nothing new for indigenous people. Now there's an excerpt in this book here, okay, about a Hopi elder that was talking about the Star Nation and had a connection with the Star Nation. I think he was around Prescott, Arizona, which is a fantastic place. Prescott and Flagstaff in the southwest, and Winslow and the Monument Valley and all that stuff up there is very star country. It's star country. It's Star Nation country, and I was raised in Arizona, and so I had a predisposition to being out in the desert and the stars, and going up to Flagstaff and in the southwest, and Winslow and Cave Creek and Prescott and Holbrook, and then over into New Mexico and Albuquerque. And even as a kid, I had an experience in Socorro, which is a known hotspot, one of the first places they ever spotted. I think it was some cop out there. This was 1940 or maybe a little bit later. Could have been in the 50s. Came over our eyes and spotted a vehicle with people standing next to it. Here's another thing. The people in there can shapeshift. They can become a human. Some of them are, in human form. They're smaller, but then some are the same exact size and look just like, well, how do they look just like a human? Well, they have abilities of shapeshifting. And here, that's another thing that you can connect to, let's say, the Navajo people and different indigenous people in the Southwest. In fact, they're deathly afraid of shapeshifters because they know. There are elements, okay, on a very lower level, on a low level. There are hybrids, all right, that have nefarious intentions and like to do weird things on the dark side, let's say, to people and mess with their minds. And you've heard of abductions, I'm sure. But what we're seeing right now, this is the thrust that I want to get out there, and this is my big reveal, is these people are not out to harm this planet. The people on the planet are misusing and abusing their stewardship, all right? Now, there have been governmental people, and there are governmental people that are, have been and are in a situation where they can communicate, or they get downloads, or, I even want to stop using that word. I was told to, because that's more AI, that's more associated with computers and that type thing. So I'm going to stop using that and just say it for what it is: communication with the Star Nation, basically. So let me expound a little bit on communication, or my communication in particular, with the Star Nation. Now, sometimes people call this channeling, all right? They call it channeling. Now, in a channeling session, that entity actually comes through you and talks to you through the person, all right? That's one means of communication. The other means is they're just right there talking to you, and you're repeating, you're who you are, and you listen to what they have to say, and you disseminate that information out to the general public or to the earthlings. And you got to be real careful, because there's all kinds of people out there that are fakes. They, just like on YouTube, okay, as soon as the appearance was starting, all of a sudden you got all kinds of people. Everybody and his brother is out with a video on, look at this, look at that, I got a picture of this, I got a picture of that, or I got an opinion on that, or I got a theory on that, or I got... all of a sudden, and then there's all kinds of visuals going on with it, and so you're going to get a lot of disinformation out there, as well as sometimes leaking through. You will actually get footage and stuff off of a cell phone or whatever. But I don't trust cell phones, because they can manipulate images as well. Now, unless you have permission from the Star Nation, they will interfere with that shit too, excuse my French. They have complete control over, excuse me, they have complete control over technology. Now let's get back to this big reveal here that I was talking about that's coming up. So this big reveal that's coming up is also to be looked at with a jaundiced eye. In other words, be careful what you believe. Now, I'm sure that there will be some kind of reveal, most likely, as far as human technology, back engineering or reverse engineering vehicles, all right? And we do have a certain amount of technology that has been given to us in the past that has allowed, excuse me, has allowed the governments of this earth and the military-industrial complex to develop certain things, such as anti-gravitational vehicles and advanced technology, and very, very fast, being able to move fast. Not like the Star Nation, though. They can't go through mountains, all right? And so when the reveal comes, it most likely will be a reveal about the technology that is evident on this plane from these military-industrial complex and private organizations that have developed things for nefarious purposes. You hear a lot about these abductions. Most of them are actually our own government. For whatever reason they want to do things. Is it to make people think that the aliens are bad? Or, they come down and they abduct people and they cut cows up and they do surgeries and they implant this and that and they do this and that. And all of these narratives seem to indicate that the aliens are bad, and you got the Greys, and you got the Nordics, okay, and you got the different elements, and you got all kinds of stories. But believe me, when they do this reveal, and I am yet to see the reveal, so I'm talking like they're actually going to do it, but there's strong indications. Ross Coulthart wouldn't come out on News Nation, one of the major news channels, okay, that covers just incidental stuff like CNN all day long, and I think it's Australian. He would not come out on a platform like that. And in fact, I think he actually has his fingers in the pie as far. He may own the platform for all I know. But he would not come out and say, and actually he did a snippet with a guy, I can't remember the name now. He did a short snippet of his interview with the guy as a kind of like a preview of what's coming up. But until it does come up, or because things can be squashed or quashed, or things can be interfered with, let's say, by the government. So I'm looking forward to this week, because supposedly this week is the big week here. It's the week of reveals, the week of Trump coming into office and saying he's going to reveal, and it's a real circus, people. It really is. And this circus, all these things in the sky that you're seeing that people are calling drones are not drones. Again, they are different elements of the military-industrial complex and even commercial organizations. Commercial companies that have, they've farmed out the technology, secret stuff. Now, associated with all this really is advanced technology in all areas that they've been hiding. And another, one of the main areas is energy. Obviously, how do you power stuff like this? And zero-point technology, Tesla, for those who could identify better with that word, Tesla, Nicholas Tesla, the inventor of free energy that they stifled and stole and possibly even murdered him, I don't know. But they stole trunkloads of stuff that he had where he could actually draw energy from the universe and power everything on this planet. That's one of the biggest reveals, okay? Advanced healing techniques, all right, with this zero-point energy, and all kinds of advancements in all areas that basically, when revealed to the public, and when it's finally revealed, you got a whole change going on here, like a change in complexion, from black to white, from darkness to light, right? Because once people find out that they have been lied to for years on all kinds of levels, and another thing too is the military-industrial complex is connected with the pharmaceutical industry. These are all industries to enslave mankind, kill mankind, make money off of mankind, and make money off this phony scenario of nations and borders and countries fighting each other and all of this kind of stuff. Now, another reveal that I think you should know, and I've talked about this in the past, tried to talk about this on a not so, let's say, offensive level, because everybody's going to be offended by anything that you say, and the guidelines and all that, community guide, all that BS. But remember, I did talk about Christ consciousness, and I talked about how he called the Pharisees vipers, right? And condemned them for misleading people. Well, this same element that he was talking about is probably, or one of the main elements that is involved with deception of mankind, because they're going off another narrative or another scripture or script, which is about end times and apocalyptic times and the end of days and the coming of Christ on a cloud with legions of angels and Armageddon and all this stuff, or the rapture, whatever belief they want to lay on you. But this is basically what Jesus the man was talking about, who was an enlightened traveler. Now, when you talk about the concept that has been laid on everybody's head about, let's say, Jesus Christ the Savior, that Jesus Christ the Savior said the kingdom of heaven is within when he was on earth. That it has nothing to do with an outside man, an outside group of people, an outside religion, an outside narrative, an outside manipulation. Has nothing to do with that. It has nothing to do with religion. This is way beyond religion. The man that walked the earth was very possibly a star being. But that star being knew that when you really wanted to contact your higher self, or whenever you wanted to contact, let's say, God or the kingdom of heaven, that's the same as the kivas of heaven that I showed the book earlier, the kingdom of heaven. When you want to connect to that, it's all within you. It's all your consciousness. It's all about awareness, standing in awareness, which I've done videos on before. And that awareness is the immaculate consciousness, the creator of the universe, the creator, creatress of the universe and the planet and the cosmos. That's exactly how you contact it, is through your Christ consciousness, or your higher consciousness, or as the Hindus say, your Purusha, or your Atman, or then above the Atman, you have the Para-Atman. Ancient religions on all levels, let's say ancient forms of spiritual practices, not religion, knew about this stuff a long time ago. yogis. Incidentally, I am a practicing yogi since 1986. Energy manipulation. The serpent energy, just like was talked about in this book. Again, let me hold this book up again, just in case you didn't see it before. Journey of the Serpent People. You got there's the full Hopi migrations and star correlations. The serpent energy is also something that has been incorporated as to opening up your energy centers and opening up the door to the top of your head so that you can talk to the star nation, the crown chakra. So this is how you really communicate. But getting back to the reveal, be careful. And if there is no reveal, well, you just got a reveal from me. How about that? And they will try everything they can, this lower level religious element, okay, that has their own script and their own narrative and their own control over people, are violently opposed to this, but they have no control over it. That's why they're saying, we don't know what they are, and they're sitting around trying to figure out what they're going to do. So we'll see, people. Big reveal today. Lots of stuff in this video. Pass it around for obvious reasons. If you want your fellow man to know what's going on. And like it and all that stuff. But just remember, this stuff, we're living in times right now that you know, you're not going to believe, there's, and all kinds of things are connected to this. All kinds of events, the fires, and I did videos on this, and drones, and the explosions and the wars. And it's time to put an end to the bullshit. Okay, it's time to talk straight talk. And these evil, manipulative bastards that have been on the earth for decades and millennium and just keep doing the same thing over and over again. So it's time to get back to the Red Road. And when I name this channel the Red Road, Earth, baby, the Red Road, the Earth Road, Red Earth, right? Which means your connection to Sophia or Unsi-Maka, the planet, and its consciousness, because its consciousness is really the Star Nation's consciousness. They're both the same. In fact, there's a lot of intraterrestrials here beneath the earth and underneath the ocean. You want to talk about unexplored territory, that's it. So we got all kinds of things going on here. Now, why they chose to show themselves at this particular time, I only have thoughts about. I know that it's a lack of stewardship of the planet. But there could also be other things going on. I'm feeling like events on the planet itself going through cyclical change and possibly magnetic pole shifts. And then also we had let me mention this before I go. We're having a comet come in right now real close to our vicinity. Looks bluish in color to me, and then I immediately start thinking about the blue star Kachina, and the appearance of one of the Hopi signs is the blue star Kachina, and the red star Kachina. And even that picture that I showed you earlier, let me see if I can find that again real quick. Yep. There it is. Even this is blue. And it looks a little bit like a Kachina's headdress as well. So that's the blue star Kachina. But what I am saying is that there is a comet coming in right now that was supposed to burn up in the, because it had to come between Earth and Sun. It was supposed to, maybe a big high probability of it was that it was going to just disintegrate like most comets. This one didn't. This one is doing a flyby, and you can see this comet yourself by looking to the early morning and before sunset, or when the sun's real low. It should be to either side of that, or when it's setting. But you can't have hills and trees in the way, or you won't see it. But it's visible with the naked eye. Now, you could see it a lot better with a telescope, sure, or binoculars or something like that. But anyway, I think I've blown your mind enough today, and take it for what it's worth. But look at my track record. Look at my track record. Go back into my videos and look at the stuff I've talked about and revealed for 10 years, 10, 12 years. Always on the cutting edge of it, always getting intuitive feelings on all kinds of levels about world events and the Star Nation. Hell, I've been talking about this since day one, the indigenous people of this land, because that's who I am. A wisdom keeper. And in alliance with the Star Nation, just like all indigenous people. I'll leave it there today. Chew on that a while, and we'll see what happens this week, huh? Can't wait to come back on, and but I'm going to wait a while. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to see what these fools are going to come up with next. And we are at a critical juncture, so I'll just leave it there. Love talking to you people. Please, if you want to support this channel, go to my Substack and subscribe. Paid subscription, that's how you support it. I think they take about $8 a month out. Or you could just subscribe for free, and then when you get a chance, when you feel like, yeah, okay, you know, I think I will support this this brother here and what he has to say and what he has been saying for 12 years, I think I can spring for a paid subscription. You might want to do that, and the link will be in the show notes below, the description box. I'll leave it there. Whoopee la, aho.